Hello, how are you today? Welcome to Crazy Steve's RC. We are here today to work on the Chimera. So, let's get started on this. Well, I'm not going to do no babbling like I usually do. So, we are going to take the manifold off immediately. I got a new muffler. It's supposed to be, it's a power box. Supposed to give my kit a little more power. I only have a 30cc motor on it. So we're going to put that on there today. We're also going to put a new carburetor on there. And that's it. That's all what we're going to do. So let's get started on this immediately. I do believe that we may have to modify this already when I looked at it. And I'll show you when we get to that part. I love these tools. I got a small ratchet like this. I just need to get a tool set like that.
See? I have a 4 that'll probably fit in there better than that big ratchet there. You'll probably have to use the little one over there.
So you see how this muffler is? Since the original muffler comes up in this way, when I turned it into a one piece, you could not get that in there because the actual muffler itself is in the way. So you always have to break it apart. Did you hear a beep? Was that your phone? Oh, okay. Well, anyways, just to let you guys know that I'm not totally crazy. I am over here at my friend's.
Yeah, Baru's in the house.
Baru's here.
They heard me speak earlier.
So I just thought about,
like our other videos, me and Crazy Steve are just now getting into 5th scale RC and having the time of our lives.
oh, I'm loving it. I'm thinking that this kit has probably sat around in the warehouse for a long time. I guess the first clue would be that the grommet of the muffler kind of disintegrated during break-in period. That's one issue we had with it. The other issue we had was the pull start that broke on it, first of all. And then we replaced that. I got a lot better pull start on it. I thought I got one with solid metal guts, but it ended up being like part metal, part plastic. But I tell you what, it's definitely a lot better than the old one. Thing's fighting me. See, during this part, I can just fast forward it because people don't want to see you totally take shit apart. This one's always been a pain. All right, we got that off now. It took forever. Well, I was going to change the gasket, but I think we're going to keep the gasket. That gasket is still good. It's not cracked. It's not dried. It's a nice cork gasket. What's holding it on there is high temperature gasket sealer that I put on there when I try to fix my muffler. So right now I got a plastic razor blade because I'm going to kind of rub over the top of this gasket just to knock off the loose dried gasket sealer that's on there. And we'll put new high temperature gasket sealer on there before we put our muffler box on. I'm kind of curious about that muffler box because I think it's gonna, so before I ramble, be very careful when you do this. I suggest you use a plastic one. Do not use a regular one because you will cut into that and you will damage your gasket. So don't push on it, just put it in an angle, and all you want to do is just scrape the loose high temperature gasket sealer off there. That's all you want to do. You don't want to do too fancy because you need a flat surface. And that's flat, so that's pretty good. And I don't know if you see that or not, I got a little bit of that gasket on there, of the sealer, not the actual gasket itself. Okay, so okay, we're done. Okay, let's try to put this on. We were talking off camera about possibly needing a spacer for this box because we're thinking it's gonna affect this plastic. So we kind of off camera kind of put it on there to check, and we got lucky, and it does not touch that plastic, so we don't have to cut any of it. We're just gonna slap this thing on here and be done with it. Okay. All right, we almost got the box on, and I'm showing you this right now because I just found out that either I need to have a spacer to put this on because my bolts are too long, or I go to Ace Hardware tomorrow, buy some shorter bolts, put some washers on it like these, and call it good. It fits up there nicely. It's not even touching the plastic cover that fits over the fins anyways. The gasket sealer that I put on it kind of started setting already, so I got the old bolts in there that's holding it in its spot, and the gasket by tomorrow should be nice and sealed in there. I kind of wish it was bolted in there squished, but we'll see how it goes. I still might take it off and put a thin coat of sealer on it just to make sure it has a total seal. We'll just see how it goes tomorrow. But for right now, since I can't do this until tomorrow, I am going to switch over to working on the carburetor. So let me get some screws loosened up, pop this hood, and I'll flip her around and we'll get to the carburetor. All right, I'm back. I got it turned around. I took off the top this here so I can get into the carburetor easier. What I am doing right now is removing a carburetor, and we're going to replace it with this brand new one that I bought. There's a couple seals that are bad inside of it. That's the reason why it is. I watched several videos, and what it's doing, it sounds like the diaphragm gasket, which is the one on the bottom of your carburetor, it sometimes hardens up and it would like to stay pushed down, and when that happens, it pushes a needle in there that's on a spring and it holds it open and it floods your engine every time you pull that cord. So that's what is happening. That may not be the only gasket though. It could be my bubble gasket too. Anyways, we were going to remove this, so I just took off the cover of my air cleaner. I took all the foam out. I took the little wire mesh that goes in there. So remember, when you go in there, that's the first thing that goes in before you put your foams in. All right, let's see. It looks like it's a number 4. So I just had that number 4. sure it's on loosen. At this point, since it's dark in there, you might want to have yourself a flashlight or something. But I'm not going to bore you about you watching me take this apart. So I'm going to pause it and
why don't you shine the light in there and give them a little bit better view of where them two bolts are actually hidden. There you go.
Can you see those bolts in there, guys? I hope you can. I don't got my pointer with me, but I got a pointer. I found a pointer. So there's a bolt here.
Yep, and you're blocking it with your hand.
Oh.
But they can see it with that light. That
Okay.
light shine. There you go.
Cool.
There you go. There you go.
There's
there
a bolt
you go.
there. Awesome. And a bolt there.
And them two bolts right there. That's
awesome,
that's what we're about to work on.
That's right. Okay.
All right, everyone. So what's going on here is Crazy Steve has been reassembling his carburetor after putting the brand new gaskets onto the brand new carburetor and lining it all up. He's got the two screws in there. He's tightening both of them up right now. Does a little one at a time. He gets one tight and then gets the other one real close. Gets this one real close. But it's just the two bolts that goes completely through the carburetor that holds it on.
Oh yeah, I was surprised. I thought there was another set of screws in there that was...
The manifold behind it looked just fine.
Oh yeah, it was nice. Screws nice and tight. I ran my finger under it. I didn't feel any wet, but it did sit for a couple weeks. So I put a towel underneath it, and the only thing that came out was like really like dirt. How tight did you put yours on?
I did not super crank them because that's not what you're supposed to do. You can easily strip the threads in these little kits.
Yeah, I know. So
especially using that ratchet with the leverage it provides.
So is that good enough? I mean, I don't want to keep on turning them. You know what I mean?
Right.
But but I need it sealed.
Right. You don't feel like you're forcing it yet.
No.
No. Then you're fine. And it's probably the sealer on the threads.
Oh, I didn't think about that.
Do you need your headlamp?
No, I just couldn't find the hole.
That's
They're just about tight anyways.
Yeah. Yeah, right there, yeah. I can see him tighten them up from here.
Is it squishing?
No, I meant how hard you're pushing on the ratchet.
Oh, think that's strong enough then?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say right there.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't want it to be leaking anywhere, you know what I mean?
Right, but you don't want to over torque it either. You're going to have bigger problems than just a gasket leak.
You replaced yours. How does that feel to you? Because I know that's not like stainless steel or it's not regular steel.
I think that one was just fine. Let me get my finger on the other one here. Oh yeah. No. Those are both them guys in there are tight.
Good. All right.
Yeah, both them guys are tight.
Okay. So
well, for now we're kind of at a pattern because you want to rerun your fuel lines.
Ooh, I got lucky. That thing, the bar fell down
underneath of it.
Yeah. Yeah, because like that.
You still have the bolt on
right there. I left
on the magnetic tip.
I left it there for a reason. And I always do these like finger tight till they stop, and then I don't force it anymore.
Yeah, there's no reason to crank it.
It's plastic.
Yeah.
Just strip it on out. Okay, we got my throttle arm back on. Got a new carburetor on. We definitely use the old air cleaner housing. I do want to get a oh, that's right, it's supposed to be bent like that. That's the first thing I thought of the last time. Why is that thing like that? But it's supposed to be like that. Everything feels like it's moving fine on there. Okay, that. Now, I don't think this fuel line is going to be large enough in diameter on the outside. You think it's going to fit in through this hole and seal it? Because look, I got a little rubber cap down there. Actually, now's the time to do it because of this muffler.
Could be completely out of the way.
Yeah, the muffler would be completely out of the way. I might have to route my fuel line and strap it back here. I don't want to block that hole right there, but I may have to, or reroute it somewhere else. Because I'm looking at that hose touching that. Look at that.
Getting a little bit warm.
A little warm, look.
I see.
And then the line that's touching it is the actual fuel line. So maybe now's the time to, and this is too small for that whole diameter.
It won't seal.
This would be for like nitro. But that won't seal in there. This line, now I have yellow line that I forgot at home that I was going to replace this with. I do believe it will seal in that.
If not, just reuse the black again.
I guess I just reuse the black now and not worry about it at the moment. I mean, changing the fuel line is easy to do. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I just knocked your...
Yeah, we're still recording.
I noticed that. I just bumped it. It looked like we had a miniature earthquake here.
It's quite all right.
So, okay. So I say we use the old line, but I have a feeling
That's going to contact that. And unless you put some type of heat shield on that, it's probably going to melt it.
Okay, let's put that basically
In place.
okay, right there. Now that means I would have to run my gas line. Actually, okay, what's this? This is my, that goes into my carburetor right there. I'm just going to put that on there. Oh my God, I'm going to need a zip tie there. I might have to change my lines.
You're going to need more line.
There.
Don't pull it up too far. There's a reason it gets all the way in the bottom of the tank.
Okay. That nipple moves, so I can push it back down in the tank. All right, there we go. And then I'll just zip tie it right there.
You know?
Okay, now the one I'm more worried about is the fuel line, not the return. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So if I do this, this is the fuel line. So I would have to okay, I think I'll have enough. I can put a zip tie through here and then hold it back.
Okay,
Or-
hold it away from the muffler.
Yeah. And I didn't bring my tool bag, so I don't got my miniature zip ties. So I say I can get a zip tie, place it in through here, and just have it to where it holds it back. As long as it's not touching it, that should be fine.
Should be fine.
So, okay, so that's one thing I'm gonna have to do. That's on there, that's on there. Now, at this point, I was thinking that I may have to cut some of my fuel line because my outlet on my old carburetor is in a different spot. This one points like towards the driver's side, the nipple does, and the nipple that's down here kind of points like towards the front of the air filter. So I might have too much hose here. And again, that can be a good thing since I'm worried about my hose connecting to my touching my muffler back there.
Because you need extra space.
I hate to say this, but I think I'm going to be needing good gas lines.
You don't think they're hooking up?
No, they're just so loose. I can zip tie them on there. It's not a guarantee because these are a little tiny bit bigger than these because you can tell by the swell on the hose.
Maybe that's why they gave you smaller fuel line.
Yeah, but the smaller fuel line
Won't fit in there.
unless I can feed it through the bigger line. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't see that.
I don't see that happening.
I
Though.
don't see that happening.
No, because that hose is the exact same diameter as that pole. So that's not going to work. So, well, the only thing I have right now is zip tie it on there for sure. That should hold it on there. That one's holding on just fine. It's just this one. Once I zip tie it, it should be fine. Okay, but my gas line, okay, this is for pressurize. Okay, that's my gas line. Maybe if I cross them like this, since I got plenty of this, put this over here, under that, and then right here. No, I would have to do it like, yeah, like that. 'Cause if I do it like this, pushes it up against it. That sits right here like. Why aren't you fitting up there now? Oh, because I'm trying to hold it on there crooked. We may have to cut that lip right here of this plastic.
Okay.
Maybe. Or I can just let it melt by itself and it will shape itself. I can do that too. Okay, so. Okay, guys, we're probably still filming, so I'm gonna flip this around and show you what I'm dealing with here. I hope you guys can see. So we got my new muffler box, which is supposed to give more power to my motor. So I have my fuel line right here. That what goes into my carburetor. But with this muffler right here, it was touching up against it. Bitch. What do you think about that if I feed that under there?
Not a bad idea.
You think it's going to damage the hose?
No.
I mean, it is my throttle and brake.
Is it rubbing on it?
Yeah.
No, then don't do it. Because that'll prematurely wear the servo.
And I know that we can't. Why did I? Oh, that's right. Because I had it up here like this. Maybe I'm going to have to. And I guess it did rub on that. Because I don't remember it feeding through here. But if I did that, that would push it up against that muffler more. I need it back. Without it pinching my hose up here. My best bet is probably just to replace the hose. You can pause that if you like. All right, guys. Sitting there fooling it around. I got a little bit of editing to do. You won't probably see some of it. But I'm going to finish up this video today and make this a part 1. We'll come back tomorrow. We'll do a part 2. When I post this video up on YouTube, I will make sure I post both of them up at the same time. This way you don't have to wait. But what we have problem is we got a fuel line that wants to lean up against my new muffler box. So I try to move it away, but then the cord is too short. So I need more fuel line, and I need shorter bolts for back here on the muffler to make that work, and we're good to go. Before I totally end, just want to flip this around and show you that I got the carburetor totally on there, and that's good to go. That's nothing stopping us there. So I appreciate you coming, joining, watching us. Please share, like, follow, and the most important thing, smash that bell. You know, it's the little white button that's down close to the bottom screen, got a bell in it. Smash it. I'll be very happy. Anyways, that's it. We'll come back tomorrow, and we'll start part 2. Have a nice day.